How to survive hyperinflation when the economy has already started eating itself alive, your grocery bill looks like a phone number, and the guy at the checkout is judging you for buying store-brand cereal. Welcome back to the lab, except the lab is on fire. The economy is on fire. Your savings account is on fire. And somewhere out there, a central bank is printing more kindling. It's April 2026. You've seen the numbers. You've felt the prices. A dozen eggs costs what a small car used to. Rent is a myth. Fuel is a luxury. And the word affordable has been quietly removed from the dictionary and replaced with good luck. So here's the deal. You have two options. You sit there, scroll through doom posts, and wait for someone to fix it. Or, and this is the option we're going with today, you get ruthlessly, scientifically, chaotically prepared. This is your 10-item hyperinflation stockpile guide. No fluff, no sponsored supplements, just gritty, practical, slightly unhinged survival science. Let's go. Item 1. Food that doesn't die. People are still buying fresh produce like the supply chain isn't held together with duct tape and prayers. Stop that. Caloric density plus shelf life equals survival math. Rice in a mylar bag with an oxygen absorber lasts 25 to 30 years. Your mortgage is 30 years. It's a race. Canned beans, tuna, meat. The sodium is terrifying. The shelf life is beautiful. When a can of chickpeas costs $14, your stockpile is worth more than your 401k. Salt, ancient currency, never expires, immortal. Buy it in bulk. And spices, because surviving on flavorless paste is psychological warfare against yourself. Item 2. Fuel and the ability to make heat. Fuel prices during hyperinflation don't just go up, they go vertical. Venezuela, Zimbabwe. We're watching the early version right now in 2026 like a car crash in slow motion. Propane stores indefinitely in sealed tanks. A camp stove and a few canisters means you can cook and stay warm regardless of what the grid is doing. The grid, by the way, is not your friend. It's aging, underfunded infrastructure that panics when too many people run their AC simultaneously. Wood is older than money and more reliable. A cord keeps a small home warm for a winter. Stack it, cover it, let it dry. Dark Horse, 91% isopropyl alcohol. Burns clean, fuels small stoves, starts fires, disinfects wounds, and trades well. The Swiss Army knife of the apocalypse in liquid form. Item 3. Medicine and the pharmacy you build yourself. When hyperinflation hits, medical supplies become luxury goods. Insulin prices already do things that should be illegal. Antibiotics already go scarce. This is not conspiracy, it's supply chain economics with a body count. Bandages, gauze, antiseptic wipes, hydrogen peroxide, antibiotic ointment. Cheap now, not cheap later. Ibuprofen, acetaminophen, antihistamines, anti-diarrheal meds, the unglamorous heroes. Nobody makes a movie about the person who had enough ibuprofen, but that person is functional while everyone else suffers through a headache with no options. On maintenance meds, ask your doctor for a 90-day supply. Most insurance allows it. Most people don't bother. Don't be most people. And take a real first aid course, not YouTube first aid. Knowledge doesn't inflate. It's the one stockpile that weighs nothing. Item 4. Seeds and the long game. Here's where we separate people preparing for a bad month from people preparing for a bad era. Seeds. Not just any seeds. Heirloom open-pollinated seeds, the kind you harvest and replant forever. Not hybrid seeds engineered to be sterile so you buy new ones every year. That's a corporate trap dressed up as agriculture. A $2 packet of heirloom tomatoes becomes a machine that produces food indefinitely when fresh produce has tripled in price. The science? Photosynthesis doesn't care about inflation. Soil doesn't read economic reports. That's not optimism, that's biology. Store them sealed in a glass jar, cool and dark. Most vegetable seeds stay viable 3 to 5 years, beans and squash even longer. Let's continue with item 5, barter items, the shadow economy. When currency loses meaning, value doesn't disappear. It relocates into things people actually need. Argentina, 2001, Zimbabwe, 2008, Venezuela, 2016. Every time people stopped using official currency and started trading directly. Cigarettes, alcohol, coffee, soap. These became the money. You don't have to smoke to stockpile cigarettes. You don't have to drink to stockpile liquor. Barter economics runs on desire, not denomination. Coffee in 2026 is especially potent. Climate disruption has hammered Brazil and Vietnam harvests for 2 years straight. Vacuum-sealed, stored cool, it's both a personal luxury and a serious asset. And cheap bar soap? Buy a case. Hygiene gets more critical when medical care gets harder to access. Worst case, the collapse never comes and you're just very, very clean. Item 6. Tools that don't need electricity. Energy costs spike first and hardest. Brownouts happen, blackouts happen. The grid is a convenience, not a guarantee. A hand-powered can opener. Sounds ridiculous until you have a cabinet full of canned food and a can opener that needs a USB port. Buy 3, $1 each. Cheapest prep item on this list, most overlooked. A manual grain mill turns your stored rice and wheat berries into flour with 0 power. Slow, a workout, and works when nothing else does. Basic hand tools, hammer, screwdrivers, pliers, handsaw. The ability to fix things yourself is worth more than most financial assets when supply chains are broken. And a quality fixed blade knife, not folding, fixed, handles food prep, building, defense, and 100 things you haven't imagined yet. Keep it sharp. A dull knife is how you end up back in item 4. Item 7. Communication when the internet goes quiet. In hyperinflationary economies, telecom infrastructure degrades. Companies cut maintenance, service flickers. The information network you depend on for everything, news, navigation, family, starts going dark. A hand-crank emergency radio is not a relic. It's the cockroach of communication technology. AM, FM, NOAA weather band survives everything. When digital infrastructure is struggling, analog keeps broadcasting. Walkie-talkies for local coordination. No towers, no monthly bill, no problem. And paper maps. Physical printed maps of your region. GPS needs satellites, data, and electricity. Paper needs eyes. Know your water sources. Know the alternate routes. Know your geography like it matters, because someday it will. Item 8. Financial hedges, the real ones. The real answer isn't what the financial influencers are selling you. Physical silver and gold aren't digits in a database. They're objects with intrinsic value recognized by every civilization in history. You don't need to go all in. A small position in actual coins or bars you hold in your hand is insurance against currency devaluation. More practical for most people, attack variable rate debt now. In hyperinflation, interest rates spike, and variable rate debt becomes a trap that tightens with the chaos. Fixed rate debt is actually less terrible. You're repaying with cheaper dollars. And diversify your currency exposure. Hold some value outside your local currency. This isn't exotic finance. It's what wealthy people have always done, and what everyone else is only now realizing is available to them. Item 9. Water and the means to make more of it. One contamination event, one busted pipe, one municipality that ran out of budget, and suddenly the taps are running something you don't want to drink. 1 gallon per person per day, 2 weeks minimum. Do the math. Now double it, because math is optimistic and reality is not. But storage alone isn't enough. You need the means to make more of it. A gravity-fed ceramic filter turns questionable water into drinkable water with 0 electricity. Backup, purification tablets, iodine or chlorine dioxide. Drop one in sketchy water, wait 30 minutes, pathogens are dead. You're not. That's the goal. Bonus science. Boil water, catch the steam, condense it. Steam doesn't carry bacteria or contaminants, just pure H2O coming back down clean. Slow, inefficient, a miracle. Item 10. Community, the stockpile that scales. Here's the thing nobody puts on their list because it doesn't fit in a storage bin. Community. Every major collapse in history was survived better by people with networks than people with stockpiles. The lone wolf with a bunker full of supplies is a movie fantasy. In reality, isolated individuals with resources become targets. Communities with shared skills and shared trust become resilient systems. Know your neighbors. Actually know them. Who has medical training? Who has mechanical skills? Who has land? Who you can trust? Skill sharing is the ultimate inflation hedge. A neighbor who fixes engines, grows food, or knows basic medicine is worth more than any stockpile. The science of resilience. Distributed systems survive better than centralized ones. 10 households with different skills beat one household with everything. Redundancy, distribution, cooperation. Engineering principles of survival applied to people. So there it is. 10 things. Not 10 things to panic about, 10 things to act on, because the difference between panic and preparation is just a to-do list and the willingness to start. The economy is doing what economies do when they're pushed past their limits. Prices rise, supply chains strain, the comfortable assumptions of the last few decades start showing cracks. This isn't the end of the world. It's the end of the world as it was, which is different and which requires a different kind of thinking. You don't need to be a survivalist. You don't need a bunker. You don't need to disappear into the woods with a knife and a bad attitude. You need rice, you need water, you need medicine, you need seeds, you need tools, you need community. You need to start now while the prices are still lower than they'll be tomorrow. The lab is on fire, but you've got the science. Go stockpile something.